So hello everyone, it's the Cricket Connoisseur here and welcome to episode 13 of the TCC Talks podcast. Now today I'm joined by someone who'll be very familiar to any fans of Australian state or English county cricket out there. It is none other than the man, the myth, the legend, that is Mark Cosgrove. So first things first, Mark, thank you very much for coming onto the podcast today. How's your day been?
No worries. Yeah, not too bad. Pretty relaxing day. It's not too bad over in Australia at the moment, so we're pretty lucky over here.
Yeah, what's the weather like? We've had thunderstorms all night.
The weather's been okay. It's obviously middle winter here, so it's only sort of 14, 15 degrees, but it's been reasonably dry, so which has been good. But yeah, we're out and about and doing stuff, so which is good.
Midwinter and it's pretty much the same as our summer. Brilliant.
Yeah, pretty much.
Right, so to kickstart this podcast, Mark, we'll go all the way back to the origins of your cricketing journey. What's your first ever memory of cricket, either playing or watching the game?
Look, I started when I was really, really little. I think I started playing under 12s when I was about 7. I think the only team mum and dad could find was the local team down in South Gawler. So I started down there. We'd always go to sort of the last hour of state cricket used to be on TV. In Australia, so you'd always watch that last hour after school, and then obviously Dollar Day down at Adelaide Oval on Sundays, was pretty cool. You'd obviously pay $1 to get in, and then you're there all day playing cricket, watching cricket, and yeah, lucky enough got to play out there, and lucky enough got to play with a couple of blokes I was watching.
Yeah, lovely ground, Adelaide Oval, absolutely stunning. And you mentioned, obviously, you said a couple of names that you're watching. Who were your real big inspirations back then? Who did you really look up to in those days?
Obviously, Darren Lehman was a big one for me. He grew up in the same cricket club at Northern Districts. So straight away, it was Darren was always around the cricket club. You saw him play club cricket, you saw him play state cricket, and then obviously later on, you saw him play for Australia. And it's really good. It was just amazing watching him, how he went about his game. The other one was probably Jason Gillespie, watching him play, and Greg Broad as well. So them three, when I was a young kid, you watching them play state cricket, and you wouldn't even think that you'd ever get to play with them, let alone meet them. So yeah, I was pretty lucky in the end.
Well, yeah, you mentioned Darren Lehman. You almost have a nickname basically, Mini Buff or Baby Buff, which I've always found quite funny. But yeah, obviously a great mentor. He mentored you at South Australia, didn't he, as well, Darren Lehman? How big of an impact did he have on your early career?
Definitely, he was awesome for any young batter in South Australia. For me, like I said, I was really lucky to play club cricket with him. So sort of got to see him outside of the state team a little bit. Obviously, seeing him when he's probably relaxed a little bit more, playing club cricket, playing with his mates. You've probably got to see a bit more of him and really tap into how he went about his cricket, which was fantastic. So for me, it was awesome playing with him at Northern Districts. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Darren Lehman, what a player, and a good coach as well, yeah. Buff. But
yeah, very good.
Talking of South Australia, you made your debut for them at the age of just 19. How did that feel? How were you feeling on that day?
Yeah, pretty nervous. One of my teammates from Northern District got injured, so I sort of got his spot. So it was sort of one of those situations where Mark Higgs was injured and you're sort of replacing one of your good mates. So it was really exciting. I didn't get any runs. Joey Dawes knocked me over twice. But it was it was amazing being at the Gabba. Playing at the Gabba, Green Seamer. It was a hard initiation to Shield cricket or to first class cricket, but it was fun. It was good fun.
Oh yeah, and obviously took off, played in South Australia for 7 years. How would you describe your time down in Adelaide?
Look, we had some really good teams in South Australia. We just couldn't quite get it together. If that makes sense, you had sort of Lehman, Blewett, Matthew Elliott at that stage, Jason Gillespie, Sean Tate, Dan Cullen, Ferguson, myself, Clear. We had a really good side. We just couldn't quite all get it together or click together as we should have, and missed out in some finals and lost a one-day final. But overall, look, to play for your home state, it was pretty cool and pretty good to play with some really good cricketers.
Well, yeah, exactly. In those days, early 2000s, Victorian Queensland, weren't they? They were very, very good teams in state cricket.
Yeah. Yeah, and New South Wales as well. I think Victoria, New South, Queensland, they were the three powerhouses at that stage, and I think all the test players came from them three states. And you're facing the likes of, I think my first game I had Kasperwich, Dawes, Johnson, and Nofke. I think the four quicks. So there was some good quicks around, and obviously some fantastic cricketers as well.
Yeah, Ashenofka, that's one for the veterans. Remember him for RCB. I think he played for us in 2008 or 2009. But during your time in South Australia, 2006, you made your debut for Australia at the age of 22. That was a game against Bangladesh in Fatullah. How were you feeling on that day? What was it like to put on that Australia shirt for the first time?
I actually don't remember much about the day, to be fair. I remember Dan Cullen played that game as well, and we sort of come through the age groups in South Australia together. So it was really cool to play with him. And I can't remember that day. All I remember is we lost the toss and we bowled him out for about 120, and I was down to about 5. So I was walking off thinking, no, I'm not getting a hit here. So that's cool, but it's sort of a waste of time. I really wanted to bat and really wanted to get some runs. As we were walking off, Gilly came up to me and basically said, "Oh, why don't you go and open today? Make sure you get a hit." I was like, "Yeah, no problem. More than happy to do that." And luckily got some runs, which was nice. It's one of those days that you'll never forget, but don't really remember that well. If that makes sense.
Well, yeah, fair enough. You scored 74 in that game. It was a great debut, by the way, and got player of the match as well. But
I probably tried to hit the 6 win the game and got bowled. So it's probably if there's a lesson there, like just knock it around and get the win.
Great advice for any young cricketers out there. But for Australia, you only really played 3 ODIs. You played in the 2006 DLF Cup as well in Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia. Do you think that Australia should have given you more opportunity? Because at the time, if you look at your stats, 37.33 average, that's pretty good. Do you think Cricket Australia should have given you more opportunity?
Oh, it's one of I got injured in that last game. I did my side bowling, and then I think it was a quick turnaround for the World Cup. So I did everything I could to try and be ready for that World Cup in the West Indies, and probably did a bit more damage to my side than not. And then look, it is what it is. I can't really say I've had a poor career. I've had a really good career, and hopefully keeps going, obviously. But it's no point whinging and moaning about I could have played this, could have done that. At the end of the day, I got to play for Australia, so that's fantastic.
Exactly, good attitude. You've lived the dream basically of millions of cricket fans, especially in Oz. Yeah. Maybe not if you're an England fan like myself, but yeah. Around the same time of your debut, you moved to Glamorgan to play county cricket. Yeah. Now, when you first came to England, what was the biggest difference that you noticed between state cricket and county cricket?
Obviously, the amount of games you play. That year in 2005, I think I was playing for Glamorgan. It's just a game. The amount of games you play, you sort of every day you're on the road or every day you're back in playing. You had no downtime. You didn't have much time to train. But saying that, I love playing cricket. So I'd rather play cricket than train any day of the week. I think you get paid to play the game. You're out there. You love the contest. So for me, playing every day was awesome. And Glamorgan were really good to me, and it was fantastic to play at a really good club.
Well, that's nice here. Good for any Glamorgan fans out there as well. But which do you prefer then in terms of state cricket or county cricket? Because I was talking with Nathan Remington the other day about this, and he said in his later years probably would prefer state cricket, but at the time he liked the rush of county cricket.
Look, both are very good at that. Both are very good. It just depends. Obviously, in Australia, you get to prepare. You have that week or sort of at least 4 days to prepare for your next game. You play your best team every game. In county cricket, it's hard sometimes to get your best team on the park because you're bouncing around and you've got 2 or 3 competitions going on at the same time. If you're in a quarter final of a T20 comp and you've got a 4-day, it's really tempting to rest one of your key bowlers or your key batter if he's niggled a little bit or something like that. When Australia, you have that week to sort of get through, get your body right to play it 100%. For me, I enjoyed both. I enjoyed Australia with the fast bowlers, with the quicks, and I love England with a little bit of extra swing and you play every day. So if I had to pick, I'm not sure which way I'd go. I really did enjoy. I do really enjoy playing both. I'm not sure. That's a tough question, actually.
Right, that's fair. That's fair. I mean, you played in both. You played loads of cricket in both. You've played for South Australia, played for Tasmania as well, 2010 to 14. You played for Glamorgan, obviously now a Leicestershire player as well. Yeah, you've got ample experience in both, so that's a fair comment. Really is. Now, fast forwarding slightly, just a few years, and you get to play in the Big Bash, which obviously is a lot of kids' dreams nowadays. How would you describe your experiences in the Big Bash?
Pretty good. I played for a few teams, so no, Big Bash is fantastic. You get massive crowds, and it's a good 6-week holiday from the 4-day slog, really. I was lucky enough. I played for Tasmania the first year, then got out to Sydney for the next sort of 4 years after that, which is really good. I knew you had that little break from sort of the daily grind of 4-day cricket. You got to go and play T20s. You got a crowd. You get to got to play with different players, meet different players. And the first 3 or 4 years was awesome. They just pumped it up so much. And like now, they're never going to go backwards from now with the Big Bash. The Big Bash is probably one of the best T20 comps in the world. And I just don't see it going backwards. And in Australia, it's on prime time. It's Christmas holidays, New Year's. You look at the strikers play New Year's Eve, and it's amazing. They get 60,000 people there, and it's a hell of a game.
Well, yeah, Big Bash has gone, as you said, it's gone from strength to strength, hasn't it? And New Year's Eve at Adelaide with all the fireworks going off in the background. Yeah, it's quite a spectacle, that. But you alluded to, obviously, some big names that you played with. I can think of one in particular for Sydney. You played with Chris Gayle. Who is the biggest player that you think you've played with over the years?
I'd say Brian Lara. I never got to play with him. I played against him. But Jack Callis for Sydney Thunder.
Yeah.
As an all-round cricketer, he's got to be the best cricketer nearly ever to play the game. He could bowl at 140, he could top 3 and sit at first slip and catch him. For me, there's no better dreamer doing that, really. As a batter, you can search the bowler and knowing that you can still bowl your sort of a 140 bumper and then sit at first slip if you don't want to bowl, and then bat 3. So that's for me, that's the ideal cricketer. That's if you ever wanted to model yourself on one cricketer, like Jack Callis has to be right up there.
Yep, I'd agree. Best all-rounder that I've ever seen personally. Absolutely magnificent cricketer across all 3 formats as well. That's the other good quality about him. Obviously, Test matches, but bloke had long levers as well in T20s. Right, so
he did.
Exactly. Yeah, he was good for Sydney. He was quite good for Sydney, Jack Callis.
That was awesome.
Yeah, you're lucky to have played with him. But at the moment, Mark, we've been talking obviously about all these pretty proud moments, really. Okay, and obviously cricket, it's not as simple as that, is it? There's bumps in the road as well. What would you say has been the toughest moment of your career to date?
Look, when I was growing up, it was pretty tough, to be fair. I got suspended when I was 20, I think, for South Australia. Coming back from England one year, playing club cricket in Newcastle. I think Newcastle basically took me down. Being sort of single and living in Newcastle probably wasn't a fantastic idea. But it for me at that stage, I was a 20-year-old kid who had played a bit of first-class cricket, and to go to England and play cricket for the second time. First time I went over, I think I was only 14, 15 with my mum. Played a club side down in Middlesbrough called Redcar. but yeah, the first time being away from home, basically overseas. Yeah, and then coming back, and then obviously all the media and all the Adelaide's quite a small town, to be fair, so it's not much to write about. So if someone does something wrong, it's normally all over the paper. So that was pretty tough, to be fair, as being a 21-year-old kid and going through that. Yeah, that's probably the hardest bit I found in my career. Everything else I sort of matured pretty quickly after that, and everything else I could sort of work my way through, to be fair.
Well, that's good. But, well, maybe not the toughest, but, obviously cricket, it's a roller coaster. You could get 99 one day, 0 the next. How do you maintain an even keel personally? How do you mentally with the pressures of the game?
Look, it's a game. That's all it is. It's a game. If you do your preparation and work before the game, you trust yourself that you've done everything right until you walk out in that field. There's no real, for me, there's no pressure. The pressure, obviously, game situation, but if I've known I've worked hard and got all my batting done and got all my bowling and fielding done. I think for me, the worst part for me was when I bowled, because I never did a lot of bowling in the nets, or didn't work on my bowling as much as I probably should have. It was just a bonus when we were in a little bit of trouble, or if someone went down. As a bat, as long as you did the work, it didn't matter if you made it a 0 or 90. You knew that if you keep doing the work, you'll make runs next week or next day or everything like that. I think as a young cricketer, you can't really ride your season on like a roller coaster, because it will just do your head in. You need to be able to stay at even level, even if you make 150. Don't go and celebrate, have a few beers, yeah, for sure, but don't go over the top, because obviously, like you said, next week if you get a duck, you're right down the bottom of the roller coaster.
Great advice for any young cricketers out there. Take that on board. But yeah, well, talking of your bowling, I was actually going to bring this up, Mark. Pretty recently, actually, it was this year, you showed off that seam bowling capability. You got Ramesh Kalawitarana out in the Road Safety World Series. How enjoyable of an experience was that? Because obviously there's some huge names in that. How much did you enjoy that?
Yeah, that was good. We're only there. I think we were only there for 8 days, and obviously we're right in the mix of the COVID stuff. So we only got to play one game against Sri Lanka, and to be fair, we were a bit rusty. To be fair, I think we were 5 for about 10 at one stage, chasing 160, but we lost by a couple of runs. But it was amazing. It was a great tournament. We just needed to finish it, really. It was awesome just to hang around. Everyone stayed in the same hotel, so you were hanging around the pool, and you had the West Indies there, you had Sri Lanka, India were there, and South Africa. So you were just hanging around blokes that you watched cricket with your whole life. Jonty Rhodes was there, and just brought his esky down every night, basically, and you sit around, have a beer, and just chat cricket for all night. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, for any cricket fans, that'd be like dream.
Oh, it was the best end of season trip you'll ever go on, to be fair. Like, you'd sit there, have a few beers, and you go into the front bar, and Brian Lara would be there with the West Indies team, and you sit and talk to them, and if you want to do an end of season trip, that was probably the best I've been on.
Yeah, sounds brilliant, and hopefully they'll bring it back, because obviously, as you said, that was cut short by the whole pandemic. Yeah, it's quite a nice premise, that, actually. I quite enjoyed the matches that I watched. Yeah. But yeah, well, at the moment you're with Leicestershire in the county championship. What do you want to achieve in the remainder of your time with Leicestershire? What have you got set up?
Look, when I went there, we want to be Division 1 team. At the moment that's still a goal. I think for us, T20s. I think we're going to put a bit more focus on T20s. We got to one quarter final in Cardiff a few years ago, but I still think Division 1. I think we've still got the team that can take us in Division 1. With Colin Ackerman, Paul Horton. I think we've still got some good senior players around that. Can really lift and teach the younger kids how to play and really guide them to hopefully success in the next couple of years.
Well, yeah, exactly. I do wish Leicester the best of luck. I do quite like Grace Road. Always got a nice fan base as well. That's what I found at Leicester.
Yeah.
But yeah, talking of Leicestershire and the county scene, really, who is your favourite team to beat? Because when I've gone to Warwickshire Leicestershire matches, you always seem to turn it up against my team.
Yeah, not just probably in the one-day form, not well in any form, probably not. It's always a good one to win, especially away. I think we've beaten them a couple of times away now, so it's always good going to Trent Bridge, good little 40-minute drive and get the points and then come home. So yeah, I'd say if any Leicester fans out there, I think it'd be Notts. I think we get a good turnout there. Yeah, they get a bit rowdy. Our supporters sometimes at Notts, but yeah, I think not. I think just with the history with Notts and obviously they're probably a bigger county than us and been able to pinch a couple of players in the last sort of 10, 15 years. I think our supporters are very happy when we knock them off.
Well, fair enough. It's that Midlands rivalry, isn't it? Really, in the east.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously now, Mark, 35. You still got a few years of cricket left in you, obviously. But what have you got planned for post cricket? You could go into coaching, you could go into media, you could go into something outside of cricket. What are you looking to do once your cricket career's at an end?
Yeah, I really enjoy coaching. Last sort of 4 or 5 years, I've sort of been doing that, and it's been really enjoyable watching some young kids come through and yeah, helping them along their journey of becoming a professional cricketer, or at least trying to become a professional cricketer. I think it's good to pass on some knowledge and really let them develop and find their own way, as well as sort of guide them in a nice direction. I found that really exciting. Cotton media that we've sort of got into. Me and a few mates have sort of got running, so a bit of media around Aussie rules footy, better cricket, and bits and pieces like that. So that's keeping us busy at the moment, which has been good. Aussie rules is back going now, and we'll get that up and running again in the next couple of weeks with our local footy going again. So yeah, so a few things going along, which is quite nice. But yeah, like you said, I've still got a few years hopefully of cricketing me, good cricket, and yeah, getting Division 1, which should be nice.
Yeah, I wish you the best of luck with that, Mark. I really do. You spoke for AFL. Sorry, this is just a bit off topic. Who's your favourite team?
Hawthorn. So we got Richmond tonight, so which will be a tough ask for us. Yeah, we'll be all right.
Fair play. Thought you were going to go with the Crows.
No, they're not. No, they're junk. No, the Crows are okay. My wife goes to the Crows. It's been a battle with my little one at the moment, the Crows or the Hawks. So, no, the Crows are fine. They're a good team. I do watch them in Port as being South Australian, but yeah, I do live with the Hawks.
Fair play. Right, just to bring us back on topic slightly. Sorry, I had to do that. But
No.
yeah, you spoke about your coaching. Okay, so what advice? Let's say you're dealing with someone who's just come into the game of cricket. What advice do you give them in the first few coaching sessions?
Have fun. No matter if you're playing under sixes or playing Test cricket for England or Australia, it's got to be fun. You know, you look at the best teams in the world, the best players, they have fun. You know, if you have fun, you're more chance of succeeding what you want to do. And I think that's in life. If you enjoy your job, have fun, you're gonna succeed more times than you're not. So for me, as a young kid, I'll be telling them to have fun, but also getting the basics down pat. Obviously, getting your feet towards the ball, your head towards the ball, and watching the ball. So getting the basics done, but having fun, make training fun. So they want to play, they want to have fun, they want to go out and come back for next week. You see some coaches who always go for the drills and stuff like that, and the kids get a bit overcoached a little bit. Yeah, I think have fun. If the kids don't want to do it, then you're not going to get anything out of them. You know, you want the kids wanting to come to cricket training. You want them to play cricket.
Well, yeah, that sounds like a very good coaching style, to be honest, Mark. So just to wrap up this podcast, it's been an absolute pleasure, Mark. Honestly, it really has. But looking at your status, really, okay, a lot of articles and people call you a cult hero in cricket. What do you make of that status?
I mean, it must have been around a long time. Um, it's nice. Look, you never play cricket to. Well, I definitely never played cricket to become a job. I played cricket because I loved it and I enjoyed playing cricket. And look, I've had the best. I don't know how many years we've played, 15, 16 years, and hopefully that can push on a little bit further after this pandemic. But it's been fun. Like you look back, and I'm catching up with a mate tomorrow who I played under 19s with, or 15s, 17s, 19s, and first class cricket with, and it's easy. You go there, have a chat, and you talk about all the good times and all the fun times. That's why I played it. I played it to make friends and to have fun and to enjoy it. You know, I was lucky enough to have one of the best grade cricket teams in Australia at one stage, and it was fun. Like you sort of had Darren Lehman, Ryan Harris, Graham Manu, Mark Higgs, Chris DeVow, myself. I'm missing someone as well. But yeah, we had 5 players play for Australia within 3 years, out of one club, and all local growing cricketers. And we all had the same goal, just to have fun and relax. And yeah, just for me, when I started, it was about fun, and it still is now. I still want to enjoy my cricket. I still enjoy my cricket. And yeah, sometimes obviously at Leicester and at my club time at the moment, we're going through a tough time, but you still got to be able to find the funny side of stuff and light-hearted kind of stuff. Otherwise, it does drag you down. So yeah, it's just been a fantastic ride. Yeah, and when people ask you, what do you do? What do you do? It's like, well, I've got the best job in the world. I have fun. I play cricket, and for me, it's not stressful. It's one of those things where you just, you know, it's a game still, and lucky enough being able to get paid to do it, which is a bonus.
Well, I mean, that is wonderful to hear. And as you mentioned, that fun element. I mean, was it last season you went viral for headbutting a bouncer, which was one of the most hilarious clips that I think I've ever seen. And as you mentioned, yeah, I think that's why a lot of people like you. I mean, I'm definitely a fan of yours, Mark, 100%. And I've been watching you not for Leicester because I'm a Warwickshire fan, but watching you at Warwickshire Leicestershire matches for past 3 seasons now. And as you said, yeah, just a character. And I think you come across as really likeable. So you definitely deserve that status, in my opinion. But yeah, no problem. Well, that pretty much wraps up episode 13 of the podcast, guys. Mark, have you got any final words? Just say anything to plug social media, for example.
No, I'm all good. Thank you for the chat. It's always fun doing these kind of things, and yeah, you're a great lad, and it's been enjoyable. So thank you.
Well, no, honestly, Mark, it's been my absolute pleasure. And for anyone who's tuned in, thank you very much as always. And yeah, as always, guys, enjoy the rest of your day.